Zone. You over Red Zone?
Yeah, but we've been over Red Zone, right?
I definitely have been. But I think for a lot of people, today was the nail in the coffin.
You think so?
Just to hear the words from Scott Hansen, it's going to be 7 hours of Red Zone football and not 7 hours of commercial-free football. He kind of alluded to it a couple weeks ago on the Rich Eisen show that he doesn't have control of this shit. But to actually get confirmation that it's going to have commercials this season,
yeah,
I think a lot of people are turned off. And that's the whole point of Red Zone, is to watch just football, nonstop football, and to get interrupted by commercials. That kills the fun of having Red Zone. I know a lot of people don't do Sunday Ticket. They just have Red Zone.
Right.
So if that factors in, like, I think it's, even though Scott Hansen's not in control of that shit, I do think it's kind of lame that nobody said anything until the Wednesday before week 1. Because a lot of people bought that, and now they're under the impression that they get 7 hours of commercial-free football, and that's not the case. My thing is, and not everybody has this luxury, I have 2 TVs. So for the morning games, I just put Sunday Ticket on the quad box for both TVs, and I don't need Red Zone. I have one TV with the sound on, one TV muted, and I just watch every game simultaneously. I have my own sports bar in here. But I get some people like Red Zone and jumping around. I never was a huge Scott Hansen fan. So the fact that he said that today, I'm totally out, but I understand why more people were today.
Yeah. I mean, do we put the organizers at Jackass of the Week or what?
We might do that later on for Jackass of the Week.
Yeah, maybe that's a contender. And on top of that, you're just going to be getting nonstop ads for ESPN shows in the middle of it. Let's go to the quad box. Here we go. We got the Commanders. They got a 1-possession lead over the Eagles, blah, blah, blah. And then on the bottom, you're going to say, tune into the Pat McAfee show Monday through Friday.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was kind of lame today, too, where McAfee had him on. And he was like, yeah, no, we get it. We understand why, the NFL does this stuff. And he may just being a realist, but also even though he calls out ESPN a ton, the NFL's in business with ESPN right now. So it's more money in the pockets for employees of ESPN. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I'm not surprised. I just think it's lame that they're doing this. And, that's just capitalism. And that's our society. But to have Red Zone going strong for I don't know how long now, and this is the first year where they're going to have commercials, huge turnoff to me. But then again, I was turned off from the get-go, to be completely honest.
I think it's also a turnoff that we are having a game with the Chiefs and the Chargers on YouTube exclusively.
Why is that?
Just because it's like a B-side broadcast. I don't know. And YouTube, I guarantee you,
YouTube. Are you calling out Rich Eisen, Kurt Warner, and Kai Cenat, I think? Is that how you say the YouTuber's name?
Sanat. Who knows? Sanat King Cole.
Thank you. You're saying that's a B-League broadcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one.
Yeah.
I like Kurt Warner.
Chiefs and Chargers, man. This is going to be a good matchup, and we got to watch it in Brazil on YouTube. And I feel so like I've grown some more empathy for the older generation since working at KCBS, because I got a lot of people who are like, what the hell are you talking about? It's on YouTube. I don't have someone told me they don't have YouTube. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You have access to it.
How old is that person, Steven?
Quite old. Yeah, you have YouTube. You do. But I just agreed. And I just felt bad.
Did they call it the YouTube or YouTube's?
Just YouTube.
Okay.
Just YouTube. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think it's kind of fraudulent and just appealing to the younger masses when they don't need to. I think that's even more lame than commercials on Red. Actually, no, not more lame than commercials on Red Zone, because I could see people who watch that as like a Sunday ritual get real pissed.
Yeah, I mean, just get used to it though, man, because it's going to be more and more exclusively on streaming platforms. Yeah. Just your opinion, man. Stephen Langford, Derek Papa, we're coming to you basically Christmas Eve, the night before the NFL starts. And man, I cannot wait. I'm so juiced. We got America's game going on right now with the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh yeah, that's when you know the season's officially started, Stephen.
Oh, an NFL thing.
Yeah, like when
Eating
they do
dinner.
that
It was
documentary
mid-bite.
on. Say again.
I'm eating dinner.
Yeah, I
It
know.
was mid-bite. I'm sorry.
You're definitely looking like Jake LaMotta right now from Raging Bull, like in your tank top and eating something.
Well, at least I'm not, punching my wife.
Yeah, that too. I mean, it could be worse where you're yelling at Jesse to make you a nice steak, but at least you're not doing that.
Could have the gut though. I got the gut to work with it. The late Jake LaMotta gut.
Oh no, you're not that bad, dude. Like good method acting by De Niro to go to Italy, get fat, and do that role while simultaneously also getting jacked for that role as well.
Yeah. It's like Christian Bale on steroids,
I guess. Speaking of which, Christian Bale I think was more impressive than De Niro, honestly, with his weight fluctuation.
Oh, skin to the bone.
Speaking of which, we'll talk more about actors slimming down for roles later on in Pop Culture Catch Up. Yeah, it's a tease. So when we started this podcast about 4 years ago, Steven and I had some guests to start off. We had Bonte Hill was the first guest on this show. Second guest was Daryle the Guru Johnson. But Steven and I didn't do the interview together because Steven had to miss that day. So it was just me and Guru. So the first time ever with me and Steven, we'll have Guru on. Second time that Guru was on the podcast. We'll talk to him about his reaction to Micah Parsons being traded to the Green Bay Packers right before the season starts. And he is not that upset about it.
Sounded upset about it when he talked to me.
It's so funny because his tweets say otherwise. So we'll get to the bottom of this with Daryle the Guru Johnson. Just some quick NFL stuff. We talked before about Juwan Jennings and Jacoby Myers wanting to get their contract situation squared away. It sounds like both guys are just cool with playing it out during the season, at least for Jacoby Myers' standpoint.
Yeah. You know what? This Juwan Jennings holdout, let me just put on my NFL fan hat on, because at the end of the day, they should pay him, blah, 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 and all those things we've said on the podcast before. And this is no disrespect to Juwan Jennings, but it's going to sound like it because, okay, I guess it kind of is. This was the weakest holdout of all time. What the hell was this? Okay, you have this calf injury throughout training camp. You never announced that you're requesting a trade. All you did was post some little Offset lyrics because Offset is really sad about being divorced from Cardi B or separated from Cardi B, whatever. And he's really sad about seeing Stephon Diggs all on a boat with her friends and her and all these different things. Her in a civil lawsuit, maybe. I don't know. Shout out to Cardi B. She won it today. But point being, that was just weak. What was that? It wasn't a hold. It's seemingly a contract holdout. Is it a holdout? John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. I don't know. Yeah, he requested a trade. We're moving on. We're not even talking about it. They went out of their way to avoid this entire thing. I thought this was just weak from a fan who wants drama standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, compared to Brandon Ayuk, this was a walk in the park. But yeah, I'm just glad that he's back at camp or not back at camp, back at practice. And it sounds like they'll put the contract stuff behind them. Kyle Shanahan, so there's no hard feelings or ill will towards Juwan Jennings. He gets it. He does still have the calf injury, so he's limited today in practice. But sounds like all systems go for Sunday. So we're moving past that whole situation with Juwan Jennings. If he gets paid, he gets paid. We'll talk about it. As far as Jacoby Myers, he kind of downplayed his trade request today, I saw, where he was like, yeah, I mean, I want to be here. I don't want to fuck over my teammates, but I do want to get paid. And that's totally fair. So he's taking the right approach about it. And if he balls out, and he's on my fantasy team this year, if he balls out, then he'll get paid and he'll remain a Raider. If not, I could see both guys easily moving on next season, where teams pay them more somewhere else, where both the Raiders and 49ers really know their value, and they don't see them as wide receiver ones.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to get 2-year deals if that means getting more money. I don't see a team extending those types of wide receivers to a 3 or 4 year kind of, I don't want to say max contract, but the contract that you'd give someone off like a rookie extension. I don't envision that. But they are playing for contracts. And honestly, this is the best situation for both teams, really. Now they're playing for money, even if it's with their team or not. This is a good thing. This is a benefit to the 49ers. And maybe time will run its course by the end of it. And it's the same thing with the Raiders. We know Jacoby Myers isn't really the future of this team, but he's going to be playing for his future. And unfortunately, this isn't that beneficial for them, but
right.
This is only going to help the team. So bing, bang, boom. Bob's your uncle.
Bing, bang, boom. Fanny's your aunt, right? Is that it?
I don't know. I just know Bob's your uncle.
Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Yeah, I know that term. Got enough British friends.
Fanny's your aunt. I haven't heard that.
Lauren F asks in the chat here, is it really an injury, though? When is he projected to be back? He's supposed to play this weekend. So was it an injury? It sounds like it wasn't a minimal injury, though. Yeah, it sounds like it was that as well. Like Kyle Shanahan said it today. The MRI came back clean. So I think the whole time they were nice about the process because they didn't want to insult him because it was an injury. But also I think behind closed doors, they were like, all right, Juwan Jennings is milking this thing. That's what it seemed like to me. Could be totally wrong. In the end, no big deal. I think Drew Rosenhaus told him, you got to go. You got to start actually playing now. They're calling your bluff. He's going to play. We'll see if he gets paid.
This is exactly what the 49ers want, though. They want confusion. They want people to lean more towards the injury. Like listen, man, they just can't have it. They can't have another holdout like they did these last 3 or 4 years. They just can't. They can't. They can afford it. Yeah. It's just the trust in this organization that they will be doing something moving forward with like an offseason without any contract drama after everything that happened. I just don't think they wanted the bad publicity. So this is everything the 49ers wanted.
No, definitely. And they're moving on. They're focusing on football. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with Juwan Jennings and Jacoby Myers. All right. As far as stuff we didn't talk about last podcast, Bill Belichick had his coaching debut as the head coach of North Carolina, and things were looking good against TCU. That opening drive, they scored, and I was like, all right, Bill's figuring things out. Watch out, ACC. And then the rest of the game happened, and he got just destroyed. And not just, it wasn't just him. It was the entire football team. I know a lot of people said that they weren't very talented to begin with, but it really showed. And, yeah, it was 48-14. They just got their ass kicked. I didn't even know Freddie Kitchens was Belichick's offensive coordinator, which I'm like, ugh. I looked it up. He was the interim head coach a year ago when Mac Brown got fired. So I guess it was for that bowl game, but I'm surprised Belichick retained Freddie Kitchens as offensive coordinator. So it's going to be an uphill battle for Belichick when they got so many great teams, the ACC right now. Miami looked good. Florida State beating Alabama. Cal actually looked good on Saturday night against Oregon State. So it's going to be interesting for Bill Belichick this season. And I'm not saying he's going to oh, fuck this, I want to go back to the NFL. That ship has sailed. But it's just going to be interesting to see how Belichick adjusts to college football, where I don't know if he can pull this arrogant act he's had for quite some time in the NFL, where he's won Super Bowl so he can punk the media and kind of give curt answers. Now it's a different ball game where he's in college, and I don't know if that shit's going to fly.
I know we don't like talking legacy, but I don't think this does anything but hurt it.
Really?
Like, what? Yeah. What does it? What benefit does this have? Like the thing you mentioned, Derek. He doesn't have the talent.
Yeah.
And that's against TCU. TCU's not very good. Like they're fine, but they're not that good. They're not 48-14, giving UNC its worst loss in a season opener ever in its history. Like,
yeah,
they're
but
not that good.
I get it, but they were just in the national championship game a couple years ago. But they got fucking waxed in that game.
Yeah, but then like 17 seniors left or whatever that crazy number was. So
I know.
They're the completely different team than that. I just think I was watching that game, and I guess, yeah, sure, give it time, see how he adjusts. But I couldn't help but wonder, why? Why is he doing this? Like, what is the point? You're supposed to coach to win. I also think it's fascinating, Derek, and we brought it up on the podcast before, but the psychology into these coaches, because he's not doing it for money. Like, he's made enough money, and even if he wasn't coaching, he'd make enough, as an analyst, especially with the way that broadcasters are getting paid nowadays, or even, the Stephen A. Smiths or the Tom Brady's. Like, they're setting a precedent now with these contracts. Like, he'd make enough money doing that. There's like this weird addiction that these guys have in getting back into coaching, no matter what it does to their mental health, no matter what it does to their physical health, no matter if it takes pretty much all of the time out of their lives for 9 months of the year. it's really interesting to see why he's back there. And I still don't have an answer. Like, hey, he's going to bring North Carolina its first conference championship since 1980? Is that the goal? Is the goal to win a national championship? Because you're one recruiting class too far from actually doing that. That's all I could wonder is why.
The why is because multiple things. First and foremost, if you saw the press conference, right, where he was introduced, this is a passion job for him because his dad was an assistant coach at North Carolina. Mm-hmm. So he takes pride in having this job. Okay. Also, he is egotistical. He didn't like the way things worked or ended with the New England Patriots and wanted to go out on his terms. To be told by Robert Kraft, you're done here, that pisses him off because having won 6 Super Bowls, the most of any head coach in history, he thought he should have done things on his terms, which I totally understand, but the team was losing, and Robert Kraft has all the right in the world to say, I'm firing you. So he's able to go to a place where he has full autonomy, and he's able to, basically no one's going to fuck with him on the roster. In college, you're able to kind of push around kids, to be completely honest. And he probably didn't like today's athlete in the NFL with the contracts and whatnot. He's very much like Jerry Jones, where he wants to, kind of strong arm somebody into getting a contract they don't want to do. And I'm surprised he's willing to put up with NILs and whatnot. But then again, maybe not a lot of North Carolina guys are getting NIL deals to begin with. So I think it's just a pride thing.
Well, my question is, though, back to your Patriots point, is that worse, being pushed out by a Super Bowl champion and Robert Kraft, even though I don't want to call an owner a Super Bowl champion, but getting pushed out by Robert Kraft at a time when he didn't have Tom Brady, or potentially being pushed out by North Carolina's athletic director who bought him in the first place because he has a $10 million buyout and he's walking off into the sunset because after one season he said, I don't know.
I doubt they'll do that to him. I think they like. I think.
What if Cunningham retires and the new guy that they hire ends up just letting him go?
I doubt it, dude. Just because I think that even though on the field it wasn't a success, I think they like the publicity of having Bill Belichick as their head coach because it puts them on more national games.
I guess.
Well, I mean, dude. You can't deny it. They were on Monday Night Football and not the traditional NFL Monday Night Football, but they have the stage all to themselves. Michael Jordan, Lawrence Taylor, Mia Hamm, all these people were showing up to watch Bill Belichick and UNC football. So I get it. It's kind of like it's not the same thing as Dion, but it's a little like that, where the team won't be as, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, like the way that people kind of classify the way that Dion's run Colorado as far as the team and their swagger and whatnot.
Dion will be coaching Cleveland in no time.
Cleveland? Oh,
yeah, once Kevin Stefanski gets fired after another 3-win season. Yeah.
Dude, I think this might be a one-and-done thing with Shedeur. And I do think Stefanski sticks around because I think it would be lame for them to fire him after this.
A coach of the year?
Seriously, put up with all this bullshit. Yeah, I don't think that's happening. But you know what's
sad.
funny though?
It's sad seeing Belichick, and I'm not like where was it? Otis Bird. Where is that one? I kind of felt bad for Belichick a little bit. I didn't feel sad watching Belichick. I didn't feel bad for him, but I did feel sad watching one of the all-time greats just getting, for lack of a better term, because they're the Tar Heels, just stomped by the Horned Frogs.
Yeah.
Brutal.
But you know what? At the same time, Sonny Dykes has been an accomplished college coach for quite some time. Yeah. So I get his kind of bitterness at the end of the game where he was like, everybody was talking about UNC and they forgot about us. I mean, that's only fair. Bill Belichick has, been a legend in football. And Sonny Dykes, let's be honest, lost 65-14 in the national championship game. But just as much as like people scoffed at Urban Meyer going from college to the NFL, I'm sure people are like, Belichick think he could just roll in here and be a college coach. So I get that. I understand that a little bit. Also, Bill, have you heard this thing that Pete Thamel said on Monday night where he's definitely like told scouts, don't come to my games. He's banned scouts from attending North Carolina practices and games. And apparently he's not allowing New England Patriots scouts to show up to games. Like, he's so pissed off with the NFL that when he gives out depth charts, he doesn't give a depth chart to the media. It's all blank. And scouts are usually allowed at practices so the guys can get noticed and get to the next level. Belichick's like, nah, we're building a program here, the 33rd team in the NFL, but I don't want scouts' help in the process from the NFL, which is very weird to me, but also like just too bitter of Bill, honestly.
Well, just based on what I saw on Monday night, I don't think Bill's going to have to worry about any of these players going to the NFL. One thing I just want to mention, because they are going to be at Cal in October 17th.
You going?
Oh, for sure. I'll be there.
Okay. I think I'm going. I mean, like, you know what? Hold on. You say all that to say like, oh, Bill Belichick, it's not the same anymore. We're all going to go see him against Cal, though.
Well, I'm also going to see. Well, yeah, but also I'm going to see. I'm actually going to try to make it to quite a few Cal games this year because of what they're doing with the South End Zone. They are honoring the Oakland Raiders with their own fan group called the Black Bear. They're putting it in the South End Zone, honoring the Black Hole, designated solely for fans who purchase a ticket through the group's link on calbears.com.
Okay, I could get down with that.
How about it? I think that's pretty cool. Anyway,
yeah.
I think I really think Cal will, like, depending on how the 49ers season goes, Cal could be the must-watch football team in the Bay Area.
Stop it, dude.
I'm telling you, dude. Cal's football, dude, their schedule stinks. Like, you want to talk about the easiest schedule of the NFL for the 49ers? Cal, you look at the schedule for Cal, the toughest team they play is at the end of the season, and that's SMU. But other than that, it's Virginia Tech, Duke, North Carolina, Texas Southern this Saturday to be the home opener. Obviously, they're playing Stanford towards the end of the season. Like, it's not that hard of a schedule.
It's not, but to be the talk of football in the Bay Area, I think it's going to take a lot.
Maybe.
And for a media standpoint, like, KNBR is the home of Cal football, 1050. But regardless if the Niners have a successful season or not, we're talking Niners.
Just because you're talking whatever you're talking doesn't mean you dictate what's popular in the Bay Area. I'm saying that Cal's going to be the team to watch. I'm not going to say that Cal's going to be the most popular team that's going to dominate the headlines every day, but I think Cal is going to be sneaky good to where people are like, ooh, I got to get out to a game.
Yeah, that could be the case. I'm down. I'm going to check them out during North Carolina. The schedule is not great, but if they, I haven't been to a Cal game since they played USC. Caleb Williams was still at USC. So That's the last time I've been. But yeah, if they're entertaining, I'll make it out to a game. But I think it's going to take a lot for the Bay Area to start really caring about college football again. I know we have Ron Rivera on and Andrew Luck, and I love those guys coming on, but it's going to take a lot. Like, having those guys be the leaders or the figures that will represent that franchise or their programs going forward is big. But for the Bay Area to change their mentality about college football, they're going to have to win a lot of games. Stanford's going to have a long season, I think. They just lost to Hawaii 2 weeks ago. Cal, yeah, they could definitely compete in the ACC. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Stanford doesn't have a quarterback. Cal does.
No, they don't.
Quarterbacks bring people together.
Yeah, it was interesting. I asked Andrew Luck about the quarterback for Stanford, Gail Brunson, I think his name is, and even he was like, we'll see.
We really struggled running the football. We should have ran the football in the final moments. Our running back was running really well, and we're working on it. It's week 1. We open the season against Hawaii, and we lose on the field goal. Not too bad. I think we can move on to week 2.
Your Andrew Luck is turning into Joe Lacob.
A
little bit. Focus on the Chase Center. I want Kuminga there. I want him to be the star. Valkyries are playing too. We'll kick them out in a couple of weeks when the playoffs start.
All we have to do is bring in Jack Doyle and Dallas Clark, and we'll be just fine.
And don't forget my guy Kobe Fleener.
Kobe
Fleener, baby. I felt bad too. I had him on 2 weeks ago, and I was like, can you talk about the preseason? Because I remember your first game ever, your first pass ever was a touchdown. You threw it to Vic Ballard. He goes, oh, yeah, that was so great. It was also Donald Brown. You messed that up there. And I was like, oh, damn it. Oh,
you got sunned.
I did, but I had it off the dome, and I was like, what was the running back's name? Yeah, Vic Ballard. That's it. He's like, no, it was Donald Brown. I was like, shit. Anyway, real quick, I wanted to play this clip of Belichick because I just thought it was hilarious before the game. He was talking to Holly Rowe, and it's just classic Belichick where even though he hasn't accomplished much or anything really in college, he's still going to be the same old Bill and give simple responses or not big responses to begin with. So this is Bill Belichick before the game.
Day that you debuted as an NFL head coach, and now you're making your debut as a college football coach. What's going on inside you right now? Excitement, nerves? What does it feel like?
I hope it goes a lot better in the game against Dallas and Jimmy Johnson. And they crushed us. So hope it goes better than that.
I know that you've got a great motto where you say practice execution becomes game reality. What have you seen this week in practice that you think your kids can execute tonight?
Well, hopefully we can do a good job with our fundamentals, ball security, and
Is this my thing messing up right now?
Yeah, I think so.
Damn it.
Yeah.
All right. There we go.
and communication.
Tell me about the hoodie. I mean, had to be cut off sleeves, right?
Yeah, it's kind of my thing.
Thank you, Coach. Fun tonight.
Oh, good Lord.
Had to be cut off sleeves.
Yeah. Yeah. With Holly Rowe, who is like the
Nicest
ambassador of all ambassador for sports, whose job as a sideline reporter is to build it up and, get the most out of whoever she's interviewing. She does it really well with the WNBA and college basketball too. But that was just, Bill, come on, play the game.
Yeah, I mean, she's, he hasn't had to deal with that in the NFL quite a bit where, it's bubbly personalities. So I like at the end where she's like, have fun tonight. And he's like, yeah, thanks, Ollie.
Yeah. Isn't the whole point of college sports is to have is to bring in that youthful energy? Like that's all for that's all for the NFL. Like I think back to, God damn it. Who was the longtime North Carolina head coach for basketball? His name looked like a dentist, looked like the best looked like the greatest
Roy
dentist
Williams.
ever.
Roy Williams.
Who? What?
Roy Williams.
Roy
Williams.
Roy.
Jesus. Listen to me.
Roy Williams. Like even that guy, very intense, but also had a lot of charisma. Like you had to have some in this college game. So it makes it great.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way it usually goes in college. You have to be a little hokey. Like you have to, like the way that Pete Carroll is, he got that from college where it's like, come on, let's go around, guys. Come on, let's celebrate a little bit. And that's just not going to be Bill Belichick at all. Like, he's just going to be stern. He's going to be, Urban Meyer, I don't think was that way either. Nick Saban, he's got charisma, but he would talk to the media, but he'd also be, an asshole when he wanted to be. But
he won 7 national championships. He had the right.
With Saban, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But I don't know. I think that this is more of a arrogance thing for Belichick, where he doesn't want to be told, what to do in the NFL, so he has more freedom in college football. But he might find it to be more of a struggle, and who knows? Maybe he, goes off to the sunset with Jordan, and they go on a beach, and he, kicks his legs up in the air and has her, dangling by his feet. And then, Stephen Belichick takes over, which is what's in his contract. Yeah. I see Guru's in the chat, but we got to wait, I guess, to see if his camera comes up or his mic situation. I'll text him here real quick.
Yeah, Guru, if you're listening, we can't bring you on unless you turn the camera on, according to this thing.
Got to the camera on, my man. I do also want to get to sports media. And we'll do that conversation once we end with Guru.
Here we go. Yes.
Oh, dueling tanks. All right, here we go. All right, we'll talk more about sports media today, but joining us now is a longtime friend of ours, and we go way back with him. My first time ever board hopping at 95.7 The Game was a Steiny and Guru show on a Saturday afternoon with Guru driving, by the way. Steven, did you know that?
Wow.
Oh,
I've been on the board for that.
Yes. I mean, you and I have been on the board for Zach and Guru. Plenty of laughs over the years. This guy has always been down to meet us at the bar, but then leave early or come up with an excuse not to go in the first place. But ladies and gentlemen, the host on 95.7 The Game, Steiny and Guru, it's the one and only Daryle the Guru Johnson. What's up, Guru?
Fellas? I was feeling kind of slighted. I'm like, they said 7. I got kids. Hey, but I hit the wrong button. But what's up? The old gang is back, baby.
It is indeed, Guru. Back in the day, man. Guru's gripes.
Papa, hey, Langford, you know this? And if you don't, you know now. I've always looked at Baby Papa is Dr. Dre, Kanye, Timberland, and he is, not that I'm Jigga. I wish I was. Shout out Beyonce. Hey, wifey. But he came up with Guru's gripes, and it's still going to this day.
Steven?
I call him Milli Vanilli because he stole my song.
Wow.
Yeah, Steven forgets
that. Okay.
Yeah, Steven forgets that he used to look up to me and actually ask for advice on how to make a new song, but I digress
awesome.
here.
I didn't ask advice on how to make a song.
Fellas.
Not a lot, Guru. So you excited for football starting up tomorrow with your Cowboys?
I can't wait. I thought, I'm an old historian, a sports romantic, and I know you guys are looking like goo. We asked you the time. Don't build us a clock, please. But anyway, we got tomorrow and then Friday, which I thought I hated, but now it's just like baseball. Give it to me Thursday. Give it to me Friday. I'm a college football fanatic. I don't know if that's because I'm getting older, but I just love it. And we got the game Sunday. I'm juiced, man.
There you go, Goo.
Well, what do you think, though, about a game on YouTube? Chiefs-Chargers, exclusively on YouTube. What do you think about that one?
I don't like it. I feel bad for Norm. If people are wondering who that is, that's Pops. He's old school. Channel 5, ABC 7, Channel 2, maybe ESPN. But what they're doing with this YouTube, I think about the older generation. But I guess we're at a point now, if you want it, you'll find it. But it's gangster out here what they're doing with this streaming stuff, man.
It really is.
Well, not only that, Goo, did you hear the announcement today with Red Zone? Are you a Red Zone guy on Sundays?
I can't stand people that watch it. Pops is one. I just Andrew Siciliano's ears. He can wave in a plane with those things. I'm just saying, I'm not a big fan. I got to be locked in on one game or have multiple screens and feel like I'm doing it Frank Sinatra my way.
Okay.
No,
okay.
fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. So hang on. What does that way look like? Like what's an NFL Sunday for you? Are you just like on your couch on your own? Do you have multiple screens set up, or do you really just have like one TV, one game, and then you're kind of just watching?
Oh no, I'm in
the afternoon slate, and moving on to the night.
I love the question, Langford, Lonnie, Steiny. Them kind of they buff me, but the lab's in the bedroom, and I got multiple screens next to my screen on the wall. So I got those 3. Now it's turned into the iPhone, so that's 4, and the laptop. Okay. Your boy's got 5.
It's got 5 on it. All right, so
there you go.
So Goo, I wanted to bring you on. I wanted to bring you on last Thursday, but you were busy at the time. But I want to get your reaction on Micah Parsons because I was shocked that this trade went down. I didn't think Jerry Jones was going to do this. I thought the whole thing was ridiculous from the get-go of him getting all butthurt that they had a contract worked out man-to-man, with the handshake agreement, and then Micah Parsons want to go back to his agent. In the end, the pieces couldn't put back together again. They couldn't save the relationship. So what's your thoughts on Micah Parsons right before the season starts getting traded to the rival Green Bay Packers?
Hey, I love this, and I'm glad I didn't join you last Thursday. I couldn't. Well, I wanted to, but I couldn't. And it's taken some time for this to kind of process for me. And I mean this. So I got to be careful, but I'm going to let it all out because you two asked. I remember as a young boy, Tom Landry getting 86 the way he did by Jerry Jones. I hated Jerry, but Jerry turned it around. I remember the Cowboys losing to the Bears, but led by Tom Landry 44-0. it was bad. It was awful. And then, bam, here comes this Maverick, Jerry Jones from Arkansas. 3 Super Bowls, should have been 4. I'll leave that there. So I'll always have an infinity for him. But watching that Doc the Gambler, it comes at a bad time for Cowboy fans to me because he should be celebrated. But that's way down the road to me because there's been a bunch of dysfunction. You asked about the trade. I've been really, really down on Micah. I'll set that aside real quick. But why he got traded hurts me deep because Jerry sounds like, and I know he's not a racist, but if you want to go there on, you have the ingredients of black ball player, rich white owner, I don't want to talk to your team. That makes no sense, Jerry, at all. So first, I was mad, like if you were going to trade him, this should have went down right before the draft in March. But Jerry told us he was ready to make him the highest paid non-quarterback. So that was my answer there. He didn't want to do it. But why he did it keeps me up at night in regard to where's he at right now. You did it, Jerry. You did it on your terms. It was wrong. But now I've taken a step back. Micah, 1 sack in 4 playoff games. Kyle neutralized you twice. LaFleur, the Kyle tree, he did it where it was 27-0. They almost held put 50 points on us. That I'll never forget. And then Micah did nothing, rendered ineffective. And I know he's a DN, but how do you neutralize DNs that don't have the complete package, guys? You run at them. So I thought to myself, well, damn, we weren't picked to do anything with Micah. 2 draft picks, $22 million saved on the cap. We got 45 going into next year. Clark can stop the run. And I'll just say this, Eberflus, let's see what you got. But why do I feel like what the players are sending a subliminal message, the Cowboy players, are we might lightweight be better in our run defense being sound. You can manipulate and trick pressure and dial it up many ways. So I got my popcorn, and with this offense, I believe going to be a top 5 to top 7 offense. I'm like, let's see it. But he is not the reason, and he hasn't been the reason we are perennial playoff guys, and when we get there, he's the game wrecker. So I'm okay, but I just hate why Jerry did it, if that makes any sense. Man.
No,
This is just your opinion, man. On 105.3 The Fan in Dallas, we are joined here by Daryle the Guru Johnson, a little local Bay Area radio host. No, I'm just kidding. We're not part of that station. But Guru, what'd you think about that in return, though? Like you said the actual like why the trade went down, but I was surprised at the return. Like Kenny Clark, you said he could stop the run, but feels like that's about all he could do right now because he's getting a little older. Yeah. You know, he's past his prime and he's seen a dip in production. The 2 first-round picks, I know Jerry's saying that we're going to turn them into Pro Bowlers, but I don't know if they're going to be Pro Bowlers. Like, what did you think of that return?
I hated it. I hated every part of it because now that Mike is on the team that you're getting these picks from, let's be honest, if we had to bet right now, wouldn't you think they're going to be lower end first-round picks? Okay, so with that said, it hurts more that it was personal. Yeah. You could have got a king's ransom, I believe, had you done this and you knew you were going to do it in March. But, Langford, what can you do? Put a package together, and Arch Manning, oh, my God, I was looking at him like I was a Cowboy scout on one game, shout out Texas, and I know it was one game, but I'm like, it ain't Peyton yet. It ain't Eli. Let's slow down. But what else can you do, man? You got 2 picks. You got Clark, as you mentioned. So we'll see if maybe somehow they'll package these picks and somehow move up in the draft. I'm dreaming. But for Jerry, last thing to say, we might not be done this year. It's like, stop, dude. But I bought that line. Nothing's happening.
He also kept on calling him Michael, which I felt like that was calculated. Boy, I don't even think that was old guy Jerry. I thought that was intentional.
Now, I have to stick up for Jerry in this sense because you can tell Stephen Jones' son, he's in the mix, but that was Daddy Unplugged. A lot of what he was trying to say, I think, is he had Michael Irvin on his podcast, so he was trying to bring up the conversation Micah had with Michael Irvin, but that's just me.
Oh, that's brutal. That's actually a very good point. I didn't think about that one.
No, you're definitely onto something there, Guru.
Ready?
And, what'd you think of that Michael Irvin?
Yeah, I'm in now.
You on the phone?
Hold 1 second, guys. This is Grandy. Grandy, I'm doing a podcast now. Okay, I'm in now, Grandy. Okay. All right.
So we're going to have to just draft, make the picks that
You're doing the fantasy draft.
1 second.
No, you're all good, man.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. All right, I'm back, fellas. I'm sorry. We had a malfunction. Okay.
Malfunction.
My bad, fellas.
No, you're all good, man. You're all good. So what'd you make of that interview with Michael Irvin? Jerry Jones went on his YouTube show, and I thought that he kind of embellished, or actually not kind of, he did a lot, where he said, yeah, David Mulugheta told us to stick the deal up our ass. And I just didn't like Jerry Jones's tactics. I agree with everything you said, Guru. For the most part, I understand that Micah Parsons hasn't flashed in playoff games. That being said, though, when you have a generational pass rusher that's young, I think you should sign that player. At the same time, you can make the argument that why would you sign then CeeDee Lamb, or why would you sign Dak Prescott? Why would you move those guys instead?
Right.
Because they think they have something there, but just the way that Jerry Jones went about it, and the way that he was talking to Stephen A. and talking to – he's doing his draft right now. Talking to Stephen A. and talking to Michael Irvin. Just what would you make of the whole media tour that Jerry Jones went on to pretty much kind of disparage this kid's name?
I didn't like it, and I know Jerry Jones is not a racist, man, and that's coming from obvious, a black man. But I understand the scuttlebutt, especially in today's society, about how it had the ingredients of how he wanted to do something this humongous, his life, Micah's future, and you were stuck on just, I don't know what it was about his agent, and his agent spoke, but I'll say this, guys, it stained what I thought was the Gambler Netflix series, which was supposed to be special and bring up old memories. I think this might be the second worst decision since Jimmy Johnson, and watching that doc brought up old memories. And then I thought to myself real quick here, hey, Jimmy was a little quick on the trigger being sensitive. So I told Pops, we're watching it together, like maybe it could have went down different. But this, to me, is scary. I hate the fact that the Dallas Cowboys are now $1 billion entity. True hardcore fans can give a rat's ass. The bottom line is Jerry is messing. He's at the Al Davis. Al Davis is an icon. But at the end, I will not lie, from my Raider brethren, and you guys can speak to this, about decisions at the end. That's where I feel like Jerry is at. That's all I got for you, because nothing else makes sense.
Yeah, I'm with you. And but even past like the Al Davis thing, it reminded me so much of the Khalil Mack trade. And just like you have this generational talent who's super young and you're willing to pay him some money, and then you got to move on from him. But you said like the Cowboys players were defending it almost, like they seemed like they feel like they could win, because the Khalil Mack trade, like it felt like that was the start of kind of an implosion within the silver and black, and as they're moving on to a new era this season.
Oh, yeah. You know, I keep Cowboy Daryle in the Metroplex. I keep my ear to the streets. So this is allegedly, but Dak Prescott had a problem the week of the playoff game. Excuse me, my wife's saying I'm loud. Okay, but I'll tone it down a little, guys. I'm excited. But Micah had Jordan Love on his podcast the week before, and I think that rubbed some players the wrong way before they went and almost put a 50 burger on us. To get dominated in the fashion that he did in that playoff game, and then have it's like Draymond Green, but Draymond's a champ. But to have the audacity to run right before you even go to the shower after the game, I did my job. That, I believe, festered in the locker room. And Dak said as much when they asked, hey, is the season over? He was kind of like, hold on, no meetings. We didn't need a pop in Langford left, but we'll be okay. So I'm wondering, and I'm reaching here, but we'll find out tomorrow. The Red Sox without Devers. Boston Red Sox fans were going crazy. And I'm just saying, Devers is hot now, but look at how the team galvanized. So I feel like we're going to find some answers to some. I don't think there was a lot of Kleenex, and this ain't no smear campaign on Micah, but he did a lot of stuff that I thought was like, that wasn't Jackson 5 like, dude. You're being selfish. And I wonder if that had, him laying on the thing with the nachos that last preseason game. That was a bad look. I still thought he could do it. Maybe that was the straw that broke the camel's back, man.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Guru. What's that?
said it wasn't very Tito of it.
Yeah, exactly. And Jackson 5.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Guru. I mean, people are gonna hate, like Jordan Love going on Micah Parsons project, or Micah Parsons podcast right before a playoff game, and that's why people are gonna react, man. Like, we got a dueling 49ers roundtable, and Guru's on with me before the KMBR 95.7 roundtable tomorrow.
Yeah, it goes down, baby. Oh, man.
No, but Guru, you mentioned tomorrow the Eagles and Cowboys. So what are your expectations for the Cowboys this season? I know you guys got Kenny Clark to stuff the run, but without Micah there, I know it's probably a misreaction in that locker room, but what are your expectations this season with the Eagles being defending champions and the Commanders on the rise, the Giants making moves, getting Jackson Dart, Russell Wilson? What are your expectations?
Just real quick, the Jalen Hurts, I think he's a top 5 quarterback. I hated on him for umpteen years. I'm done. But it's surprising that I get checked at the security gate about a dude that put up numbers, had a fumble against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl they lost, but he played excellent outside of that fumble, comes back, wins it. Now he's a bus driver. Okay, the Giants are very intriguing. If Dallas had their defense, oh, my Lord. But with that, I remember back in the day, Ernie Zampese was on the offense and Juan Stat did the defense. And he didn't have super-duper stars early on, but he had a scheme. So if Eberflus can do something like that, guys, I've been down on this team for the last 2 to 3 years. We hadn't talked at this time. I'm being real. Last year, we were an onside kick away on Monday Night Football without Dak for 6 games, securing that onside kick and maybe making the playoffs. We won 7 games. I expect Dallas to win 10 or 11. Pickens has changed everything. People forgot about Javonte Williams and this offensive line with Tyler's left and right, Smith. I am excited, and Dak has weaponry. We're in year 10 or 11 for Dak. This is it. But he's got all the weaponry and no excuses to put up points. Ferguson is the tight end. So with all that said, I expect him to make the playoffs. I really do.
Okay. All right. Fair enough, Guru. All right. Real quick,
I gotta go
before we get you out of here.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
I'm not mad at you.
No,
Does he believe that, Papa? Does he believe it?
Oh,
yes,
I do.
I mean, and honestly, I'm with him too. I think we did our season predictions the other day, and I think I had them going 4-13, man. I think.
Wow. Oh, you guys are on the text chain list. Just you two. It's us 3. Every win, 4-5, noted. That's a little too low. Wow.
It probably is because they're more talented than that. You are right, Guru. But I'm looking at the schedule. It's just hard, like with the Eagles and all the teams I just mentioned, Commanders and whatnot. It's going to be tough, but they definitely are more talented than 4-13. So we'll see how they look tomorrow. Okay.
And I'll say this: you hadn't asked, but before you let me go, real quick, D-Pop, how excited are you about the Raiders and Carroll? He's amazing. I like he should be a case study with the energy, but they quietly got some talent, man.
They do. I'm a little more bullish on the Raiders than Steven is, where I have them going 10-7, but I do not know if they're going to make the postseason. Watch them be 10-7 and be a 4th place team.
Wow. Langford, what you got them?
Yeah, I got them going like 8-9, hopefully 9-8.
Okay.
Like they went 4-13 last year or whatever it was. Like they're not a very good team. Or they weren't a very good team last season, and their defense still has a lot of question marks. Like I might even change that depending on how the first few weeks of the season goes. I think the Patriots is like a perfect litmus test. Like if they end up, squashing that game on Sunday, then it's going to be a long season. But if they end up winning, then it's like, ooh, maybe they got something.
Okay. All right. I love it.
Okay. Real quick, Guru. I want to get your thoughts on this. Me and Steven talk about Jonathan Kuminga a lot on this podcast. We personally believe that he's a talented player, but definitely not worth what's going through right now with all of the controversy, if it's Kerr versus Lakeup on who wants him to stay. I think it's ridiculous that for maybe the last 2 remaining years of Steph Curry's career is hijacked an offseason because of Jonathan Kuminga. I think we're waiting on Al Horford. We're waiting on who else? DeAnthony Melton. Waiting on all these moves just because Jonathan Kuminga has to get his. And I know that you see the value, you see the talent, but do you think it's worth just going through all this headache for Jonathan Kuminga when we're talking about Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Steve Kerr, all of these champions to get one more championship?
Look, I'll say this, and D, you hit it out the park, but the bottom line is I am pro Kuminga. And the bottom line is I think against Minnesota, and I know you guys will tell me they didn't win a game, he showed you he could play. He has something that this team desperately lacks, and I just don't understand why everybody's quick to kick him out of town. But what I love about my assessment on this situation, you are right. This is kind of embarrassing, and you should have saw it coming. I mean, do what, Jerry made a move, but Mike D and Joe Lacob, whatever's going on, this is bad. I think the optics are bad, and I think there's spite involved, but I still will welcome him back. But for Draymond, Steph, and Jimmy Butler and the rest of the gang, Kerr even, to have this offseason hijacked by this is bad. But the bottom line is when I saw Joe Lacob a day, it felt like hours after the final buzzer in the Minnesota playoff series at the Valkyrie game with Kuminga, I said right then, and I believe it now, Joe Lacob is his biggest fan. And if Joe wasn't around, I believe this would have been expedited long ago. But Joe is around, and I just don't see how we're going to depend on the big three. They're older. They're still great. Jonathan Kuminga is the best dude, best young thing we have going. So I'm hoping he comes back, especially since it's been this long. What are you going to do now, guys? What really are you going to do?
Yeah, fair enough, Guru. All right, man. Let's go back to your fantasy draft, dude. Hey, man, we love you.
Hey, I love you guys, man. This was great. Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. We need to catch up sometime to get some drinks, man. But
okay,
Guru,
anytime. You know where I'm at. Put up the best signal.
All right, man.
All right,
Later.
Langford.
All right, dude. See you tomorrow.
Later, Goo. That was incredible.
Yes, it was.
Oh, man. Love Guru. Yeah, kick it from the studio.
Yeah, during that little, I don't even want to call it an interview, just a little powwow, a little conversation.
Yeah.
I don't like calling things an interview.
You can't interview Guru.
I don't like calling it an interview. I just like calling it a podcast. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it is about that word. I don't have a problem with anyone else calling it an interview. It's a me problem. Okay? Me problem.
I got you.
So,
I mean, it kind of was, but also we're just chopping it up, man. We're just talking sports.
Also, I guess Juwan Jennings got not really a contract extension, but the 49ers came up with an agreement that will add $3 million in incentives for this season. So I don't know what that means. Like if he plays in a playoff game, if he plays, I guess, all 17, like, I don't know what incentives there are, but there you go. That's what the holdout was for. $3 million in incentives.
Well, it wasn't for that, but if you're just joining us during that interview, the Juwan Jennings just did reach an agreement on a revised deal that's going to add $3 million to incentives. Yeah, as Steven just said. So, I mean, he wanted $20 million. He wanted something in that ballpark. He wanted to hold a brand new deal. And I brought this up to multiple people asking, would they just increase his pay for this season, kind of like Trey Hendrickson? Everybody's like, no, they want to do that now. They are doing that, not significantly, but just by $3 million. And that makes sense to me. $10.5 million for this season, then go ball out and prove that you can hit free agency and make more. I think that's fair. So the whole hoopla around Juwan Jennings is over. He's got his money. He gets an extra $3 million, maybe, and $3 million in incentives. So we'll see if he gets it. But he's going to play football. Let's just focus on football. It's over, and then we'll worry about it next offseason.
If one of those incentives is that he gets, if he has to get a 1,000-yard season, that's just devastating because he was 25 yards away from that last year, and they didn't even need to play him in the final game of the season. Ugh.
I mean, it probably is. You probably should get incentivized to get 1,000 receiving yards this season. So, and most likely, Tacky says here, guessing that means JJ is gone next year. I would think so. I think that if they're doing this, we'll see what happens with Brandon Ayuk. They may be able to clear cap space if he's off the books and if they release him. But we'll see what Juwan Jennings does this year. Because I think if they're not going to pay him now, we'll see what he does this season. But I think that they have their hearts set on Ricky Pearsall being the main guy for this offense. And I don't think they're really in the business right now of giving a contract to another wide receiver. I don't.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think but the Ayuk angle is very fascinating. Like
it is, because we heard all of that this offseason about how if they could move off of him, they would, but no one was willing to take on that salary. So It's over. It's over, though. Juwan Jennings got his money, and we'll just focus on football now for the 49ers and for the Raiders. I don't think that Jacoby Myers gets a new deal, so it may be the end of the road for him as well. But, yeah, just focusing on them helping out the Raiders and 49ers this upcoming season. Okay, I want to talk about this with you, the state of sports media, because you and I have been texting about this, and it's really apparent lately that we're in a new day and age of sports media in general. Last week, we saw the news that Bussin' with the Boys, Will Compton and Taylor Lewan are going to be featured on ESPN now. Not their show, but they're going to be guest analysts, and that will promote their podcast. Dave Portnoy made his debut on FS1 with the morning show they're doing now, and also Big Noon Kickoff, where they're trying to rival College Game Day. Even though that Lee Corso is gone, I still think that show is going to just crush them, because it's just the show's a staple. I mean, you and I were talking about how I think Joe Fortenbaugh told you or me or on this podcast saying how ESPN just gives a blank check to College Game Day. That's how big that show is for that network. But as far as just the podcasters coming on television now, it's a mixed bag for me, because I like the success story. At the same time, Dave Portnoy's given takes last week saying, I believe I could be a fantastic offensive mind in football. Sounded like he's George Costanza on Seinfeld saying, like, if I could coach in the NFL, I'd be a good offensive coordinator. That's not a take.
That's how long it's been since it happened. It happened yesterday.
That happened yesterday?
It didn't even happen last week. It happened yesterday.
I'm pretty sure I sent you that clip well before yesterday.
No, it was yesterday. Or maybe Monday.
I'm going to look at our DMs here and see when I sent that to you. But regardless, yeah, man, like your thoughts, Steven, because I think you have a stronger opinion than I do on this. But or maybe it was yesterday. Yeah, you're right. Shit, my concept of time is terrible right now.
Well, I just don't like. Well, like, I don't have like. I guess I do have a strong opinion on it, but I think we are entering a realm now, and we're seeing it even with Saturday Night Live, where it's just whatever's popular through social media and whatever gets clicks is dominating things that we once considered staples on cable television. And maybe this is just me having to move on, but like I'm watching, the Wake Up Barstool show. Like I'm kind of intrigued by how it's going to go. And it's literally like just four guys sitting on a couch, just talking about sports. And like a lot of people are drawn into the idea that these guys are talking the way that I talk about sports. And it feels like I'm just sitting in there with my friends. Like that's personally not how I want to consume sports television. I think sports television is a lot more interesting when I'm learning something. It's kind of why NFL Live really worked. And I think Barstool, I think it obviously reaches like a huge group of people, it has a massive audience and a massive following. So I think anyone who watches Barstool is going to love it, but I just don't find it that entertaining to watch, four guys who are Barstool personalities sit on a couch and just kind of give takes. Like that guy, what's his name? I think Brandon Walker. He's been the guy that's been on the two shows so far. I mean, that guy's kind of a star. I think he's a little bit on the older side, but he was like writing for college football and he did all these things before he joined Barstool Sports. And this was honestly like a long time coming, probably when he had his own show on one of these networks talking college football, because if you've ever seen any clips of him doing it, he's really good at it. But it's just like, I don't know. It's just, we've entered that age now where it's like, hey, let's get this more for the audience who feels like they're sitting down watching Friends, rather than, hey, we're sitting down watching Friends and I'm learning a little something. Like that's what you got from PTI. That's what you got from Around the Horn. That's what you got. Yeah. That's what you're getting, I think, from NFL Live. It's just, it's a different age, man. And I guess I'm like, I don't know if I'm struggling to come to terms with it, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm not going to go and watch sports TV now, like more than I used to be. I'd rather listen to independent podcasts or video podcasts or something like that, as opposed to that. But I also just don't think podcasts are suited for TV, man. I guess at least they're trying the TV angle, because ESPN's just going cheap. They just said, hey, Dominique Foxworth, let's take your podcast and just make it a TV show. and your quality is going to be worse than everyone else. Like watch Foxworth on First Take or Get Up whenever he joins in via his webcam. It's a worse quality than the actual cameras that they're using in a studio. Like, I guess I respect the fact that Barstool's doing a studio show. And yeah, Tacky, I get it. Barstool has helped launch a few legit personalities, and Jared Carabas was one of the few, but I also think they kind of moved away from, personalities and instead like just got people who are, I don't know, just kind of milquetoast in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I don't think sports television has been good for quite some time. I think that the debate shows it's made us dumber. I think it's had an impact on how we just converse as a society, not just even sports shows, just political shows. It's just always just screaming at each other. I don't think that's good television. So the First Takes, the Skip Baylesses, Shannon Sharps, all those shows were garbage to me.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing more podcasts, and I enjoy doing this format, but is this a compelling television show? No, it's not. That's why I think like when my dad was doing the happy hour with Ray Ratto, I didn't think it was, and Kelly Johnson, I didn't think it was that compelling. I thought it was going to be interesting to have three intelligent people conversing about sports. There's no B-roll involved. There's no interviews. It was just, shooting the shit, which I think some people find fun. I think it's more of an audio setting. I like the podcast that I listen to John Middlecoff's The 3 and Out podcast, listen to Chris Long's, I listen to Smartless, but I'll never like flip on YouTube and watch those things. They're always good for like, listening. The taking those things to television. I know that Pat McAfee show is more of a television show, but taking those formats to television, I just don't think it's that compelling. And yeah, I'm with you on Dominique Foxworth. Like they're just plugging in podcasts to play during the day. So the more compelling shows that actually like have TV production get screen time. But, the same thing with like NBC Sports Bay Area. They'll just show like a random podcast or, KNBR on the weekends will play a podcast. Like, but I don't think that should be something you show on television. I think that's just, I don't know. Is Dirty Work on a camera pod? Yeah, I mean, like, you guys enjoy it on YouTube, but it's definitely not like a television show. It's just us, shooting the shit, and it's on YouTube. I get it. Like, I think it just works in a different format. I think that making stars of these podcasts, I like that because, like I said, it shows their success. But at the same time, you brought this up, Steven, when we were texting, it kind of dumbs down the way we talk about sports. So on the flip side, we have the podcastification of television now, and then podcasting make it a little more smarter by like, back in the day on ESPN, there were shows like Around the Horn. I still love PTI. I don't watch it as much as I used to, but anytime Michael Wilbon could call out his own employer, I enjoy it. But there was, Outside the Lines, which I think is still on ESPN, but it's on in the middle of the day and you can't find it, or people don't watch it. Pablo Torre used to be on Around the Horn and all these shows and showing off his journalism skills. Now he's on The Athletic and has this podcast. And I equal parts respect the fact that he is reporting on these stories. And we'll get to today's story in a little bit. But also there's a part of me that sees what he's reporting on, and I'm like, okay, that's fascinating. But is it going to change anything? I don't think so. And I hear you. You and I disagreed on this a couple of weeks before. I know you're rolling your eyes. I get it, Stephen. But I kind of so just to go in on what happened today. Pablo Torre.
Hang on, real quick before you do.
Go ahead.
Can you just comment on Otis Bird's one that I think passed up here in the section? The happy hour was all right. They should have given it more time.
You know what? To be perfectly honest, I don't think any of them wanted more time on it.
It wasn't exactly a happy hour.
No. I'll never forget, though, Ray Ratto talking to my father and him saying the phrase, they're going to talk about this until they're blue in the breast. And my dad goes, blue in the breast? And he goes, it's a saying. And that's all they could focus on for a long time. And Kelly Johnson's like, all right, guys, let's move along here. All right. With Pablo Torre. So a couple weeks ago, him and Mike Florio had the report on the NFLPA, and that was interesting. Did I think it was going to change anything? No, because I think we're a NFL-hungry society, and people are more interested in contracts and trades and actual games being played than the owners manipulating things behind the scenes. So today, Pablo Torre talks about
you were wrong on that, though. It did make a change. The guys resigned, both of them.
They resigned, yes, because the story was out.
And you say they care more about the games and the contracts. Well, like those are the people who helped create the contracts. It's like, that was a pretty big deal.
It was a big deal, Steven. I'm not saying it wasn't. What I'm saying, though, is for the general NFL viewing audience, I don't think they care.
I guess.
Okay. So today, Pablo Torre goes on his podcast. What is it called again, Steven?
Pablo Torre finds out.
Pablo Torre finds out. And he gives a detailed report on how Kawhi Leonard basically signed with the Los Angeles Clippers. And if I get details wrong, just let me know, Steven. But basically, when Kawhi Leonard was doing his free agency tour, he, I always thought that he wanted to sign with the Clippers because he's an LA guy, and he didn't want to sign with LeBron. I don't think he wanted to be second fiddle to LeBron with the Lakers. So I thought he was always intrigued with playing with the Clippers. But today it comes out that Steve Ballmer, I guess, had a connection with a plant company called Aspiration. And other celebrities did endorsements with them. I think Robert Downey Jr. and Drake. But in order to give a little money, I guess like a signing bonus to Kawhi Leonard, under the table thing, he wanted the company to give Kawhi Leonard an extra $28 million. And it was supposed to be like the way he told the people, like the CEOs at Aspiration, was he's going to be the face of your company. He's going to do endorsements. And that never was the case. Kawhi was just going to get a check from, or cash, straight cash, homie, from Aspiration. And then he could fuck off and do whatever he wants when now being a member of the Clippers. And they never saw a dime. How they got all this information was Aspiration filed for bankruptcy. And now in their papers and everything, it shows that they paid Kawhi Leonard and he never had to have to do a damn thing. So now it's coming out that the NBA is looking into this, I guess, because, it's manipulating the salary cap. It's going above and beyond of what you're restricted as far as your finances to do something a little under the table. And I think the Clippers have released a statement saying this is just 100% false. It did not happen whatsoever. Most likely they did this. And that my morals are different than other people's morals. My reaction to this is I'm not surprised. I think a lot of teams do this shit. I've heard all the time about owners doing under-the-table deals. No, it's not a thing, Steven?
I mean, it might be, but I don't think so. I really don't think so. I don't think it's as precedented as you think.
Why? Dude, come on. You don't think that Jerry Jones is giving people money under the table and if you sign here, we'll help you out with this? It happens in college football since the beginning of time, how they paid players. Yeah. Eric Dickerson's on record saying, I signed with SMU because they filled my car up with gas.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't doubt that it could happen with the Knicks, which is what Pablo's going to investigate now.
Yes.
But still, like, you broke the rules badly. Like, $28 million is a lot of money, and that eclipsed anything that they were endorsing for any other celebrity. Like, I don't know. I mean, we just have two differing opinions on this if you just don't care about it.
It's not that I don't care.
I'm not saying you need to.
What I'm saying, though, is I'm fascinated by it, but I'm equal parts not shocked. And I'm fascinated with how, like, if they did a 30 for 30 on how owners acquired the money to buy NFL franchises, I think people would be shocked. But then again, like, I wouldn't be, because I always think that people are doing something shady behind the scenes. Like, it's kind of known, if you look it up a little bit, that Eddie DeBartolo and Al Davis acquired the money to buy the Raiders and 49ers through mafia ties. Like, you could look it up. That's kind of disputed, but that's been passed around as rumors. And I think that there's some shady shit that goes behind closed doors when it comes to players agreeing to contracts. Throw a little cash your way, throw some stuff to your family. It happened to Reggie Bush losing the Heisman. So I hear you. They broke the rules, but I think owners break the rules all the time. And should we stand for it? I don't know. I mean, I think people in power will always have that power when they have money. Should the NBA investigate this? Yes. Should they fine the Clippers for doing this? Absolutely. Is it going to nix the deal of Kawhi Leonard going to the Clippers? No. At the end of the day, he's going to remain a Clipper.
That was part of it, though. That was part of the investigation. Like, that was part of his podcast. Like, they could go to extreme measures to where they void the contract.
That would be insane. I highly doubt they would do that.
I don't know. I mean, it was collectively bargained by everybody, and you paid an extra $28 million when other owners were pissed. Owners were pissed about this.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you want to think other owners have done hella shady shit, sure. But I don't know. I don't necessarily buy that, because not a lot of owners think that they could get away with things like this. And I think Steve Ballmer did, and now he got caught.
Steven, I love you, man, but you come on. Like, you don't think owners do like this shit all the time? Like, I think that'd be a little naive to think that owners are manipulating the rules most of the time to convince players to come play for their teams.
I really don't think so.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Chad, what do you think? I'm curious. Like, people that are in the chat right now, do you think that most owners do shady shit in order to get deals, or not even just sports, like just stuff that behind?
Not most. I mean, there's probably a select few, but I don't think a lot of owners do this.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I always, maybe it's just the negative side of me. I always think that people high up, and some people aren't this way, but I think a good deal of owners in sports will find a way to manipulate the rules. And I think that Steve Ballmer just got caught. I think that, good journalism by Pablo Torre to find this stuff. I mean, he does a damn good job. I will, even though like I'm not shocked by any of this, the detail he goes into to reporting these, these findings, it's very well done. Like I know that Bill Simmons called him out a couple weeks ago, being like, "Is he even a real journalist?" This guy's a real journalist. In a world we're living in right now, where there's not many journalists out there, and journalist integrity is at an all-time low, this guy's working his ass off. But it's just things that I'm not shocked by, and I wonder what his gain is in this. Like, at the end of the day, if you just want to report a story, cool. But if you're out to like get Steve Ballmer or get the NFL owners, I don't think that stuff's going to change. I think that, yes, it might change little things like the NFLPA president being changed. But as far as like the consumers, where, like sports fans are never going to be outraged by this stuff. I don't think like today Clippers fans are like, "Oh my God, can you believe we got Kawhi Leonard on these terms? I can't watch this team." They don't care. They're just happy that Kawhi Leonard's there.
I think this is going to sting Kawhi Leonard for a while. Like, he's
going
to be asked about. Yeah, I think so. I think enough people caught wind of it that people aren't just going to forget about it. I just don't.
But as far as like a player, like I think that we'll just focus on if he's healthy or not, compared to like he did a shady deal in order to become a Clipper. I don't think a good deal of people really care.
Probably not. And that's fine, but like still, the evidence that they uncovered with all of this is wild. It's just there's a lot that goes. It's like these two Harvard billionaires who are also involved in politics, and one of them ended up getting arrested, and that's who they're trying to blame this on right now, is the guy who got arrested for fraud. I get it if no one cares. Like, I totally understand it, but it's interesting to me.
Fair enough. I just think it's fascinating now where we are on both sides of the spectrum, where I think we have lowbrow podcasts, and I'm all for the podcasts, like having the YouTube formats and everything, but those things getting bigger platforms on ESPN and FS1, and that kind of dumbing down the sports society. And at the same time, we have podcasts that are very intellectually thought-provoking, where we think about how things are done behind the scenes, and whether you think it's a big deal or not, I'm glad that it's there for us to debate it.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting, like with politics and all that. Obviously, the mainstream media networks, like what's called MS now, and obviously CNN, Fox News. I don't think anyone really takes them seriously, but it's really just about the kind of independent podcasts now. That's kind of where the real stuff is. If you want to get some actual, facts or stuff that they're not reporting on, say, what's going on in Gaza right now.
and like with Israel and all that sort of stuff. If you want to kind of hear how both sides are manipulating just this one end of the discussion and turning it into something else, like I think it's just it's interesting. And then sports, I guess we have that, but some of the like independent podcasts, especially the football ones, they're like almost a little too deep into football for me. Like there's some where I'm just like, that's a lot of information. This is an overload here. This is a lot. Like, you know, they're just I mean, they're doing things that's not hot takey, but there's other things where it's just like, my God.
Well, there's a reason why they're independent is because they're so X's and O's oriented, where usually most football podcasts will do well. But if you're independent, then you're breaking it down with more of a niche audience.
Yeah, I'd say so. Like I still have to find that one. Like the team podcasts, you know, they're all right. You know, I like listening to the athletic ones. Like I listen to the Warriors and 49ers plus minus whenever they existed. You know, I'll listen to a TK show podcast every now and then. I'll listen to the silver and black one, or at least I used to, not so much anymore. But like, you know, it's hard finding like a solid sports one to listen to, I guess.
No, I hear you on that.
I
hear you. Let's lighten the mood a little bit. Steven, do you have that clip I sent you of John Boy Media of the A's game the other night? Just something to laugh at real quick. A little moment of zen.
Yeah, hang
on. Cody was talking about this at the barbecue on Sunday. Yeah. And when's the last time you had a It's It?
Oh gosh, it's been a minute, but yeah, been a while.
The good old people of It's It came by the KMBR studios a couple of months ago, and God, yeah, I had to have one, and it was so tasty. So Chip Carey, the voice of the A's, and Dallas Braden were talking about It's It's, and Chip Carey wasn't familiar with an It's It, and Dallas Braden told him about the tasty San Francisco treat, and at the same time, we saw a couple in the crowd having a good time.
I go for one of them too. Little It's It.
What's that? It's It.
What's an It's It?
Yeah.
For the folks at home, I on behalf of Chris Carey, I will apologize. You are a handful, Chris, let me tell you.
Give it time. Just wait.
Fly ball center.
That'll end the inning. A's down by a few. You try to grab a couple back.
I didn't hear that last part when I saw it originally. Man. Yeah, dude. There's nothing better in a baseball broadcast where someone says something hilarious and you just hear dead air because you know both of them are cracking up with their mics off. That is just hilarious to me. So for the podcast audience, they're talking about the It's It. They show a man in the crowd eating an It's It next to his significant other, his wife or girlfriend. And then he grabs a little booby.
Yeah, cops a feel.
Yep, cops a feel. And it just cracks up Chip Carey when Dallas Braden says, "Oh, you're a handful." Man, Dallas Braden on some interesting TV moments for the A's, I'll tell you.
Dallas Braden's he's a gem. I think
he's awesome.
Yeah, I you know, Chris. It's fun. It's putting him on with Chris Carey is interesting because Chris Carey is super like polished and young and doesn't want to ruffle any feathers, you know. But like if say Chris Carey was a little more seasoned instead of just like laughing, I think he would have gone along with it. And I think they probably got some more puns going within that broadcast. I mean, it's not his fault. He's a young guy, and you know, I think he's actually pretty damn good at what he does, except for the whole, you know, lights incident, which I don't think was a lights incident. But other than that, he is solid. It's just like Dallas Braden's a little more loosey goosey.
Yeah. You're referring to when he thought it was a foul ball and it was clearly a home run.
Yeah, and you didn't listen to the lights, man. Like I watched that back after the podcast, and I didn't want to be mean during the time, but like you didn't lose that in the lights.
He didn't lose it in the lights, but as you said, he's very young. He's learning. It's nerve-wracking to call big league games, so he just messed up. It happens.
I'm not like
Yeah.
If you listen to KCBS, like I'm not one to call someone out on a mistake. I'll make a mistake a time or three.
Neither am I.
You know?
And real quick, just from Otis Bird, this is by far the best. Otis Bird has always been the most positive guy on the chat, and has some great comments in YouTube and KBR chats. But Otis Bird, dang, you got a handful of boobies. Love you, Otis Bird. Thank you.
Oh, shit.
Please tell me you're coming to the round table tomorrow, Otis Bird. I want to meet you and just give you a hug because you by far are the most positive person that's in this chat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm calling you out, AJ Cruz. I'm calling you out, Tacky. Yes. Otis Bird is by far the most positive guy.
He is the most like family friendly viewer that we have. Like he just comes in, he just he says what's up, says hello. I mean, Tacky, you're in there just saying eat shit. AJ, you're like creating some vendetta against me when I don't know what I did.
Yeah. They're just new people.
OB3, dang, you got a handful of boobies.
All right. Let's pick some NFL games. God, it feels good to say that again. So for the people that don't know
about that. Oh no.
Yeah. So for people that don't know, me and Steven do wins or wangs. We've been doing this for quite some time now, since the inception of the podcast, where we pick NFL games, and the loser of each week has to do the hot sauce challenge. And the first season we did it, was you had to eat like a whole thing of Wingstop wings or whatever wings you could find. Steven's always trying to change the punishment to like wearing a box or some shit. But people like the hot sauce, so we're sticking with the hot sauce once again.
No, the problem is you like the hot sauce. Like, as in you like it, like you enjoy it. It doesn't hurt you. It's not a punishment.
But I keep telling you, Steven, it's not the punishment in the moment. It's the punishment the day after.
Yeah, that doesn't help on the podcast.
Do you want me to show you what happens the day after? I don't think so. That punish all of you.
Absolutely not. But it needs to affect you in real time. And wearing a box during a podcast while on my couch was the hardest podcast I've ever done so far out of the 360 episodes.
But you know what? In the end, it made Jesse fall in love with you.
It did. It did. It's why we got married.
Yep, just because of that box. All right, let's start. So what we do is
out of context. Yikes.
Your box I'm talking about, Steven. So let's see Chip Carey. Come on, man. Be more seasoned pro. You can talk like that. Okay. So me and Steven, when we pick these games, we pick a winner. We pick the point spread, and we pick the over-under. All right, so let's start with the Thursday night game. Philadelphia, of course, after the Micah Parsons trade, is 8.5-point favorites. The over-under is 47.5. Steven, where's the music?
Hang on. Yeah, I forgot. Sorry.
All right, a little wins. And a little pause here. Hold on, pause it real quick.
Oh.
For the podcast, we always do this. It's time for little wins or wangs. And then Elena comes in. All right, there we go. All right. So as I said, Steven, Eagles, 8.5-point favorites, over under 47.5. Where are you going here?
Oh man, shoot. I wish I would have. I did not prepare to make picks, but you know what? We're gonna fly by the seat of our pants here, Derek.
Let's do it.
Okay, Cowboys, Eagles. Look, I just think the Cowboys, as much as Guru somehow thinks it's going to be a positive for a team, okay, maybe they got a little bit better stopping the run, but they don't have a pass rush, and you kind of need a pass rush against a team that's going to have Jalen Hurts. So I will lay the points with the Eagles, and 47.5 is a lot, so I think I'm just going to take the under.
I'm doing the exact same thing. I think that the Cowboys are going to struggle. I think that it's a lot to ask just a week after one of their biggest players gets traded to be focused to play the defending champion. So, yeah, I like Philly. I'm going to lay the points with them as well, and I'm going under on that 47.5. I think it's going to be more of like a 24-10 type of game with the Eagles winning.
Yeah.
And then we got the YouTube game on Friday in Brazil with the Chiefs taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. I got to believe the Chargers fans are pissed that this game's in Brazil and not at SoFi when they have, the fan base is not great to begin with.
Did we talk about how the guy? Did we talk about how that one guy sued the team?
Who did? Oh, over this?
A Chargers fan. Yeah, a Chargers fan sued the team because they put Chiefs and Chargers on the promo on like the season ticket promotion, and you'd think that was going to be a home game. But instead, they announced later on that it was going to be in Brazil, which, you pretty much like. And there's I think like the Packers are playing internationally this year, and
in Ireland.
They have a season ticket package where it does not count among home games, and this one did. So it's like you're basically paying for whatever it is, 8 home games for the price of 7, which is just unfair.
Yeah, I get that. No, I get that. But the NFL is just going to do what they want. So it sounds like this Brazil game may go away next year with there might be changes to the whole. The reason they're able to do this the first week of the season is because there's some rule where you can't go up against high school games, but technically high school games don't start until the middle of September or the second week of September, so they're able to pull this off. I think that might change, though. Anyway, as far as this game, the Kansas City Chiefs are 3-point favorites, and the over-under is 46.5.
I don't think, if you look historically at Mahomes and Herbert against these respective teams, last year Herbert just 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, like averaging 6 yards a pass. Mahomes against the Chargers last year, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, averaging just under 7 yards a pass. I don't know if that's going to hit the over, so I'm going to take the under on this one. 46.5 is kind of a lot, but I will lay the points with the Chiefs in this one.
I'm going to lay the points with the Chiefs as well. I think that it's going to be the adjustment for the Chargers and their offensive line with Rashawn Slater being out for the season. Still think the Chargers are going to be good. Najee Harris is going to play in this game. But I think it's going to be more of a shootout. I think the first game of the season, we could see a dud as far as like offense. But a year ago, I think this game was kind of a shootout between the Eagles and Packers. And Jordan Love suffered that injury at the end. But I think this is going to be kind of the same deal. I think that both teams are going to fill each other out a little bit. Not like the feeling out in the A's game. I'm taking the Chiefs, and I'm laying the points, but I'm going over on that 46.5.
How about it?
Alrighty, there you go. That's going to be our picks for the Thursday and Friday game, and when we're back on Saturday. Saturday good for you, Steven?
Yeah.
You all right there?
Yeah, I was figuring out how to turn down the music. It's been a while.
We'll do the rest of the week 1 schedule. And so there you go. Week 1, we're picking games. All right, let's do a quick jackass of the week and pop culture catch up.
Yeah, and I've kind of who was it? Skills kind of sort of alluded to mine.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, it's easy. It's Framber Valdez. I don't know if you saw that. I'm sure you saw that yesterday. It's what everyone was talking about today, where he gave up a home run. It was a nuke. And I guess he blamed the catcher for the call on the pitch comm, or there was some sort of miscommunication, and he ends up crossing up the catcher and throwing a different pitch than he expected, and it goes right to the catcher. And you could tell just based on his body language and based on the catcher's emotion after that, because the catcher had to go out and talk to him, that it was intentional. And so for that, when you intentionally try to embarrass a teammate after you give up a home run, yeah, that's easy enough to where I'm going to give you my jackass of the week.
It's fair. I can also make the case for Kyle Freeland last night with Rafael Devers. I thought that was stupid as hell. I mean, and the Giants are winning right now. What is it, 10-5 over the Rockies? So they'll sweep them most likely. Yeah. I thought that was ridiculous last night. I'm not in favor of the old school mentality of you don't show up a pitcher when you hit a home run. I don't think Rafael Devers did that to begin with. I thought it was dumb. Should Matt Chapman and Willie Adames been tossed for the game? Yeah, most likely. I think that they kind of instigated the fight a little bit. But the suspension for Matt Chapman, I think, is lame. It's just a push. I understand the ejection, but the suspension, I think, is way too much. And Kyle Freeman last night being like, the disrespect. please. I thought it was lame when Mad Bum did it. I thought it was lame last night. So
Did you
pitchers that
see
get butthurt about that shit.
Did you see the local news guy?
Yeah, I
doing
did. I
the
did.
TikTok? Dude, I cracked up. I laughed so hard at the end. I loved it because he was just right up on the camera and he's just like, said it with his chest. Love that. he just ends the video.
I know, and he's trying to go viral as a fucking newscaster in Denver, whatever.
Said it with his chest. Love that.
Okay, I have an honorable mention. Did you see this guy at the U.S. Open snatching the hat off the kid's head?
Absolutely.
Okay, what's the tennis player's name? Kamil Majchuk?
I honestly don't even know.
Okay, I think that's his name.
Should, but I don't.
Okay, so he was signing a hat. Do you have the video, Stephen? We could play. I think I DM'd to you.
Yes, sir. Hang on. Let me get that.
So this guy was signing a hat for a young fan, and then the CEO of a Polish company snatched it from the kid's hat. It's lame. Here it is.
Known as a douchebaggery in the second degree. Maybe first. After his match, Kamil Majchuk was trying to give his hat to that kid in the front row.
Hang on.
Yeah.
I love this breakdown on the Tennis Channel.
Yeah, it's incredible the terminology he uses. Sorry, start from the top.
Crime was committed here at the Open yesterday. I believe it's known as a douchebaggery in the second degree. Maybe first. After his match, Kamil Majchuk was trying to give his hat to that kid in the front row, and that guy stole it.
Terrible.
Folks, he pulled an Ed Reed and intercepted. He can't do that.
And his character was revealed for all of us to see, and it is not looking good. But isn't there a happy ending to this story?
I think did we find the kid? I think so.
So the wheels of justice on social media, as they so often do, are spinning. First of all, Majchuk put out a post saying, hey, if you know this kid, let's get hold of him so I can get him another hat. And then the other side of it, Chanda, is that they have ID'd the dude who stole it. He's apparently some Polish executive, and he is getting absolutely obliterated on social media
As
today.
he should. And the kid, he can get the hat back, but can he get his innocence back? I mean, how do you recover after dealing with somebody doing that to you at a tennis tournament?
It's going to be some real parenting necessary to put Humpty Dumpty back together again after that.
Douchebaggery of the third degree.
Douchebaggery is a very good way to describe this because, that guy was a douchebag. Anybody that takes a ball away from a kid at a baseball game or a hat or any signed autograph, come on, dude, grow up.
Yeah.
But you know what? It didn't faze the CEO because he released a statement saying, yes, I took it. Yes, I did indeed. Or yes, I did quickly. But as I've always said, life is first come, first served. If you were faster, you would have it. I remind you that insulting a public figure is subject to legal liability. All offensive comments, slander, and insinuations will be analyzed for the possibility of taking the matter to court. Fuck this guy. What a douchebag. Yeah, I mean, the guy at the Tennis Channel nailed it. So screw that guy. But no, my jackass of the week goes to and I actually respect this guy a lot, but I don't know why he did this. Roger Waters, the lead singer of Pink Floyd. I love Pink Floyd, but I don't know what his beef is with the late, great Ozzy Osbourne. So he released this statement. Well, not a statement. I guess he was interviewed about Ozzy Osbourne, in which he said, Ozzy Osbourne, who just died, bless him, in whatever the state that he was in his whole life, will never know. Although he was all over the TV for hundreds of years with his idiocy and nonsense, the music, I have no idea. I couldn't give a fuck. I mean, he acknowledges the man passed away, and yet he calls him an idiot. And I just don't understand why you have to respond that way. I think that musicians can respect one another for what they did, even though maybe it wasn't your style. Maybe he was a little controversial at the time or all the time, Ozzy Osbourne. But for Roger Waters to respond that way to somebody that just passed away, jackass move. And Jack Osbourne, Ozzy Osbourne's son, responded to him on Twitter, just calling him out, saying, hey, Roger Waters, fuck you, how pathetic and out of touch you've become. The only way you seem to get attention these days is by vomiting out some bullshit in the press. Yeah. I mean, and good on Jack Osbourne for standing up to his dad. And actually, Jack Osbourne looks really good these days. Better than back in the day when he was curly haired. He looked like a handsome young man, or handsome older man, I guess I should say. But lame jackass move by Roger Waters.
Boobs, Ozzy.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same fucking joke from the other movies.
There's a movie. Yeah, Roger Waters, man. I don't like listening to him talk. He's just. I love Pink Floyd. Like, their top 3 favorite band. Like, obsessed with Pink Floyd. But like, everything he says nowadays, it's just, God, man. I don't know if I'd even want to see him live. I'm more towards David Gilmour's side, where it kind of felt like there's always like a strenuous relationship between those two. But I don't know. This Roger Waters, that's just another black eye on his legacy.
Yeah, in the words of Pink Floyd back in the day, haha, charade you are. Is this? I'm looking it up, guys. People in the chat are telling me this is fake. He didn't say this. No, I'm looking it up. He did say this.
I would not be surprised if he did. That sounds like something he would say.
Has he been known for saying dumb shit these days?
He's very outspoken on certain things, and you can respect his opinion, but he's very controversial. I don't think there's like a motive of he needs to stay relevant. I don't buy into any of that. It's like the whole Mark Maron thing with these comedy guys. Like, everyone's saying he's just calling them out because he's trying to stay relevant. No, I just think he's saying what he feels, and I think what Roger Waters feels is a lot of things of a jerk.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Mark Maron, the last thing he wants to be is relevant. I think that, he's retiring from his podcast after all these years. So I don't believe in that. And I believe you, Stephen, where I think that, wait, the Polish CEO thing was fake? Oh, maybe it was his response. Well, maybe that's why he didn't win Jackass of the Week. And that's why Roger Waters gets it. Okay.
You got sacked. One thing.
Well, he did steal the hat from the kid at the end of the day.
He did. One thing that I want to play here. This was just a little joke from last night's match with Chris Fowler, legend, and John McEnroe, another legend.
5,000 seat, 3,000 same, and they smoking cigars inside.
Is that why you were triggered by that guy with a cigar?
Triggered me a little.
Well, the smoke.
And then they get mad at you for calling them out.
The smoke gets in the air here sometimes, and players have complained about it. It's not the cigar smoke.
A little easier to live with.
You.
Yeah, they're talking about the weed. The U.S. Open is known for how much weed smoke pours into Arthur Ashe Stadium. Yeah, as a matter of fact, Pablo Torre did a whole Pablo Torre Finds Out episode on it.
Really?
He did.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's a big thing. Like
it sounds like
who was it? Casper Ruud. I think he's from like Denmark or something.
Casper Ruud.
Casper Ruud. Ruud.
That's a great name. That sounds like a Nicolas Cage villain,
right? Casper Ruud. Shout out to Ruud Van Nistelrooy of Manchester United, but he was not happy with how much weed is being smoked out there. But you're in Queens, bro.
Exactly. It's a party out there, man. I mean, the same thing that I said. Did I ever tell you I went to a Mos Def concert years ago he goes by Yasin Bey now. Me and my buddy Daniel Victory, who you know, Steven, we went to a show in San Francisco to go see Yasin Bey, a.k.a. Mos Def, and he stopped the show because people were smoking weed in the crowd. And he was like, hey, I'm not doing any more of these songs if you guys keep smoking. And then I don't know why I said this. I just felt like I could. I just scream out, where do you think you are? And he was like, well, I don't give a damn. I'm at my own concert, so you guys shouldn't smoke in here. And I'm like, all right, whatever. You're in the Bay Area, buddy. People are going to smoke at your concert. All right. Lastly, for pop culture catch-up. You got anything you been watching, listening, reading lately, Steven?
The thing I watched that has influenced what I've listened to, and I'm just waiting for you to say it, but it's the Yacht Rock documentary.
Billy Joel?
No, not Billy Joel. Say it.
Yacht Rock.
Michael McDonald.
Minute by minute.
There you do. There you are. Yeah. No, it's a whole documentary on that. And
what's it on?
It's on HBO, and it's literally about like the rise of the Doobie Brothers. obviously Michael McDonald joining them.
Yeah.
Steely Dan. And it's those two are like the main ones featured, and how a lot of that was influenced by, and they influenced others to create this kind of genre that's not rock and roll necessarily, but it's got like the mix of jazz and R&B and a little bit of soul in it, but also with some really excellent guitar playing. And it has me in like a little Steely Dan phase right now. It's so
Nice. Okay.
God, the album Asia is so good. So good.
Steely Dan, you say, huh?
Yeah, Asia, the second studio album they came out with.
Have you been vibing to some Dirty Work then?
No, because that one like has it. That one has the hits. Like I've heard those songs before.
Yeah.
Like that one is just. I mean, that's one of those kind of like Thriller, Off the Wall, where it's like you've heard those songs somewhere else, and you're like, oh, it's on that album. You know, like when you hear, you know, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and then Rock With You, you're like, oh, that's on Off the Wall. When you hear PYT and Want to Be Starting Something, you're like, oh, that's on Thriller. I didn't know that was on that album. Like it feels like with Steely Dan, you got like Dirty Work and Reeling in the Years and the other songs I can't even think of. And then there's other ones in Asia where the first one, Black Cow, is I forgot what hip hop song it is, but a really popular, famous rap song sampled Black Cow, where it's like don't. I don't even know how to describe it. But the point is,
sounds like Seinfeld.
Asia is just so good. The album and the documentary was really good. And they tried getting one guy from Steely Dan on, and he had just an unreal response to being asked to join.
Oh yeah, Aram's got in the chat here. You're talking about Uptown Baby. Uptown Baby.
Yes. Lord Tariq, Peter Guns. Thank you.
Yep. That's a great song. Okay, what I want to talk about in pop culture catch up, did you see The Rock at the Venice Film Festival?
I did.
Okay, can you pull up the clip that I sent you that we could show everybody? So The Rock is doing this new movie called The Smashing Machine that's going to the Venice Film Festival. It's directed by Betty Safdie, who did Uncut Gems and played the bad guy in the Happy Gilmore sequel. The Rock is slimmed down, and significantly. He's lost about maybe like 50 pounds there, maybe less than that actually, but he's lost a lot of his muscle mass. And for this role, he had to be huge. He had to be as big, his usual self. He's pretty big to play Mark Kerr, who was the former UFC fighter or MMA fighter, I should say. One or the other. Actually, but still trying to find that documentary. Steven, if you find it, let me know. With
I would love to.
The Smashing Machine.
Yeah, it's like hidden. It's like only something that I don't know Nardwar will be able to present to you out of nowhere in an interview.
Yeah, exactly.
I heard you love the Smashing Machine. Well, here you go.
But yeah, The Rock. They did a whole. They did a screening of the movie at the film festival, obviously, and after they always do like. It's ridiculous when I hear these film festivals have like 15-minute standing ovations. I'm like, who does that?
Yeah.
Like, even in sports, we don't do 15-minute standing ovations. For a movie, we're doing a 15-minute standing ovation? That's ridiculous.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, The Rock's weight loss is interesting because he's always been about, being as big as he can and being a wrestler. I mean, he's down to like game plan weight. So I thought initially, like, he's doing this because he wants to look more presentable as an actor on the award circuit, like if he's going to be for Oscar contention. But that was quickly rebuffed. It sounds like he's going to be in a new Martin Scorsese movie where it takes place in Hawaii with DiCaprio, Emily Blunt as well, and The Rock's in it too. But yeah, he's just over being huge.
Oh, but I did see something where he is. I'm paraphrasing, but he said something to the effect of, I'm tired of being just the strong guy, and felt like he was typecast as a strong guy. I'm like, you did that to yourself. There was things in the contract that said you had to win.
I know.
Like, what do you mean?
Well, he was an action star. Yeah,
I know, but like, you did that to yourself. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I know he's great. But I'm going to agree with a lot of people that have this opinion that's not so much of an unpopular opinion anymore. But I think among the three, John Cena is amazing. I think he's an amazing actor. But I think Dave Bautista just has these different type of chops. I think Bautista is just such a good actor. Like among wrestlers turned actors, I think Bautista is the best of the three. However, there was a scene, I guess, in Peacemaker, which I have not seen on HBO, but it got posted. A clip of it got posted on Twitter, and it showed Cena like improvising, and he's like listing off like names of female celebrities who like this other character would have sex with or something, and he's just like rattling them off. And apparently he was supposed to mention just one name that was in the script, and he's just rattling off like 100 of them. It was very impressive. And he's really funny in that movie Blockers, where he kind of just plays like the bumbling dad when it's three parents who are trying to basically stop their daughters from losing their virginity because they like found text messages on their phone saying that they're going to lose their virginity tonight or whatever. So these blockers go to literally try to block them from doing it. So like, don't get me wrong there, but I just think Batista's just on a level that they're trying to reach right now. I don't know. I mean, we're always doing this thing, right? We're trying to choose who's better than the other. I mean, we can enjoy them equally. I just think they're both a little bit better than The Rock.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you on that one. I can't say about Dave Bautista because I haven't seen him in a lot of movies. I know he was in Guardians of the Galaxy, but I can't really comment on anything else he's been in. John Cena, I watched the first season of Peacemaker, have yet to see the second season. He is more self-deprecating and goes with the flow. I think he's a better actor than The Rock, hands down. But I do think The Rock wants to take himself more seriously. I think this is equal parts him wanting to be healthier, I guess. And not that he wasn't healthy. He was in peak physical condition. He just wants to slim down a little bit. And also just be taken seriously as an actor. Like he's going to get a lot of attention for this movie for hopefully his acting chops, but it also requires him to be huge. So it's easy for him to be in the role, but also he has to act at the same time. I think he wants to be taken seriously as Dwayne Johnson, not The Rock anymore.
Yeah. And he needs to move on from that. But I think it's also a little, is it too late for that?
No, I don't think so. Not at all.
Yeah, I guess not. You know, that'd be a hell of a turn. Like I could respect it. It'd be better. I'm sorry, I'm moving on. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, like, Robert Downey Jr. was able to do that late in his career where he went from being kind of the guy that was in,
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and then coked out on Letterman.
Yeah, well, like, critically acclaimed. Like he got a lot of attention for Chaplin, but, it was the drugs. It was him being known as the actor that's always arrested for, doing coke. They changed his whole life.
Have you seen that interview on Letterman before?
No, I haven't actually. I've seen the interview where the guy asks him to bring up his past, and he's like, "What are we doing here? What's going on?" And then his publicist is like, "We're leaving." He's like, "Bye."
This is one in the late 90s where he is, dude. He was like, just the entire time. Yeah. So went to Tom Cruise's house to do what all guys do when they see each other for the first time, play a little ping pong. All right, play some ping pong. And at one point in the interview, Letterman obviously saw it, and he's just like, how you doing?
Oh God.
No, it was a whole thing. By the way, like I'm glad that The Rock wants to get away from being The Rock and just wants to be the actor, Dwayne Johnson. I'll look forward to that new adventure for him. But do you buy the Will Smith thing?
I haven't seen this. What?
He is allegedly using, he allegedly posted a video of one of his concerts where some of the crowd were AI generated to try and make a
what?
impact. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Will Smith was like one of the first original AI videos where it's him eating spaghetti, and that video disgusts me because it looks just so disgusting and crude and
yeah. Ugh.
But
here,
so there's a video of him performing, but there's AI in the background.
Yeah. So
God, Will.
Don't you give up on me, no. no, no, no. I know you can face it. I know you can make it. Yeah. You gotta believe.
There's like, we don't have to like pause it and go through it frame by frame, but there are some still shots where there are people in the background with their eyes that look like kind of Will Smith when he was eating the spaghetti.
Yeah.
It's just, oh.
And sorry, he was trying to pass this off like it was legit?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. I mean, dude, you and I talked about it at great lengths when the whole thing went down with Chris Rock. I'm out on Will Smith. I didn't think that was going to end his career, but it's hard to overlook that and give him respect of just how much he freaked out in that moment.
Yeah. It's really, I'm struggling. Like,
because you're a super fan of his.
I don't know the guy, but because of my brother, top 5 kind of human in my life, just because, watch Fresh Prince, Men in Black all time.
Yeah.
Him and Jazzy Jeff, Girls Ain't Nothing But Trouble, Parents Just Don't Understand, Nightmare on My Street, all the classics.
You can still enjoy those songs, but yeah.
It's just the fall off, man. It's a steep drop. This is Drop Tower at Great America. You were at the mountaintop, you were there for a while, and it's just a free fall.
Yeah.
Ugh. I can't believe I called it Drop Tower. It's Drop Zone. What am I? Come on, Steve.
Easy there.
Yeah, that was a little extreme because I have my bowl.
Yeah, be careful with that bowl. Well, that's a good spot to end it, I would think. All right, everybody. That's it for tonight. And I hope you guys come out to the KMBR Roundtable tomorrow. We'll do that right here in West Oakland at the Almanac Brewery. And, we'll be done at 5:25 right before kickoff. So come on through and watch the games with us. And Stephen may show up. Maybe. Knowing him and his married life, he probably won't. All right, everybody. To everybody in the chat. Oh, do you want to say something? Or?
Well, I think to be honest, I got a text. I think I'm going to go to the Valkyries game tomorrow instead.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. Who are they playing?
Wings, Paige Beckers and the Wings.
Fair enough. All right, everybody. We will see you guys on Saturday. Probably sometime after Texas kicks San Jose State's ass. So we'll hop on here after that. To everybody in the chat, to Aram, to what?
You told me to put a shirt on. It's hot in here.
Aram's giving Steven shit. To the skills report, to Rocca New Era, to Otis Bird is the word. I better see you there tomorrow, Otis. I want to meet you, you nice son of a bitch. AJ Cruz, Lauren F, Pat H, to who else? Ernie 1, I thought I saw on here. To Tacky. Daniel Ogden was in here for a little bit of time. And I think that's it. Oh, Pat H. I think I've already mentioned you. All right, everybody. We will see you guys on Saturday. Steven, say what you always say.
Dang, he touched both boobies. It's just your opinion, man.